moving on to the main event, a phenomenal one. And I go back 6 months ago, I wouldn't have been that excited by the prospect of these two facing off again because I thought Pitbull had his number. Pitbull, look, we know Pitbull. You could talk about Pitbull all day long. 6-fight win streak. Obviously that KO over Carvalho in the quarterfinals. Decision to Archuleta, and we've seen what Archuleta's gone on to do since then in the opening round of the Grand Prix, and hasn't been beaten since he's lost to Benson Henderson, way back. That's 3 years ago, 4 years ago. He's on 6-fight win streak since then. 3-0 since their last meeting against Sanchez. Sanchez, on the other hand, looked the best I've ever seen him against Wojciech in the last one. It went to a decision, but for me that could have easily been a 50-44, 50-43. He dominated Wojciech from start to finish and just looked like a killer, and it was more due to Wojciech's toughness, I think, that he didn't get him out of there. He obviously had the submission win over Claxton in the opening round. 3-0 since their last fight as well. And his last loss obviously was to Pitbull, before that to Wojciech as well, which makes you think he's had the loss to Wojciech and then came out and looked that good against Wojciech and got the victory in that fashion. If we get the same Sanchez, he's going to give Pitbull a lot of problems here. That said, I think Pitbull ekes out a decision in what could be fight of the year for me, if it goes the way I see it going.
I love this fight again. This is phenomenal. I'm the very same opinion in the sense of I was so impressed with Sanchez in his last fight. I look at fights. I won't catch them all, I'll be honest with you, but I'll catch most of them. But rarely, if ever, do I watch him twice. But I had to watch that Manuel Sanchez performance the second time around. He looked fantastic in his outing with Wojciech, and I scored a couple of 10-8s in that, the same as yourself. And it does show the question that he got beat, he made adjustments. He did get beat by Pitbull in a close affair and made adjustments. But you can't say that. You have to say the same thing, should I say, about Patricio. He looks better every time he steps in there. We talked about Jones, we talked about GSP and Demetrius Johnson about being smart, about having a good fight IQ. This is Patricio Pitbull too. His IQ is off the chart. He's able to make adjustments mid-fight. I was super impressed with the one Archuleta fight from him because it went to decision. We got to see a lot of his skills. He was able to take down a wrestler. He was able to outstrike him. He looked very patient. He shows his power. He looks pretty much flawless these days. Sanchez in the last fight was a tight fight. I remember his last loss. Would I be right in saying it was
his last loss was to Pitbull. Before that, it was the Wojciech loss.
No, Pitbull's last.
Oh, Pitbull was the last loss was 7 fights ago. Benson Henderson.
Oh, Henderson. And what was it at featherweight? Was it Strauss?
Jesus, yeah, Strauss. Yeah, so like
yeah, that's a long time ago, and he's looked much better since. He's very, very well rounded, very, very smart. However, Sanchez looks super in the last while. I've been going back and forward who to pick. I almost feel foolish not to pick Pitbull. If I go to Manuel Sanchez, I can just see a Pitbull get the decision. I'll be like, yeah, of course. You know what I mean? But just based on their, like I always say it in every podcast.
But the upside is there. If Sanchez pulls it off and you've picked him, you look like a genius.
yeah. But I always say you're as good as your last performance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you look at Sanchez's last performance, it was brilliant. I think that he'll have done his homework, and I think he dethrones Pitbull.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Big call out of the Pikeman.
His odds are 2-1. 2-1 on, so plus 210, I think it is. But I'm gonna go with Emmanuel Sanchez in this one. And this isn't the whole he's picking him now because he's SPG and SPG Pitbull rivalry. That's nothing to do with it. I think Pitbull is a phenomenal fighter, a fantastic fighter. But I have a feeling that Sanchez, it's his time. You know what I mean?